Hi there. I have a question for you. How many of you grew up with mothers that cooked pork into submission until it was gray and bouncy? Me. It was so funny. I didn't think I liked pork until probably 5 or 6 years ago after watching the Food Network and Paula Deen and learning that you do not have to cook pork until it's gray and bouncy. Between the changes in how it's raised and with what we know about cooking and food right now, I know that you can cook it and it can be tender and wonderful. There's also another product that I've learned a little bit about, or food I've learned about, and it's pork tenderloin that has just made my life complete. I've always joked around that I didn't trust anybody who didn't like pork, or I didn't trust anybody who didn't like bacon. And this right here is just a really cool recipe, and it's kind of a fun thing. The kids really like it, and it's one of my most requested recipes. So anyhow, I'm Renee Chukowski, and I am going to bring you my barbecue pork tenderloin sandwiches with apple and onion spread. Sometimes I call it apple and onion butter, but it's got that good Philadelphia cream cheese in it. Again, my magic in the little silver box. And I'm going to walk you through it today. Again, I've done a little bit of the prep work ahead of time just to show you. So first thing I'm going to talk about is the seasoning. And I have you start with about a pound and a quarter size pork tenderloin. You want to trim the silver skin or the fascia off and get it all cleaned and set and ready to go. And then you want to season it. I have my secret rub. I call it the rub. That's what it's my version of a little southern drawl. So I call it the rub, and it's got some cool secret ingredients in it, but it's not going to be so secret if I give it to all of you on the website. But I'm going to do that because I do really like this. It's kind of sweet and savory, and it's got a really nice bite to it. So that's what I season the pork tenderloin with today. And then what I do is I sear it all the way around, and you want to sear it so it's got a nice dark color to it. You're going to be putting on a real nice crisp crust with the seasonings that's on it, and then you're going to finish it in the oven until your thermometer reads 160 degrees, or there's just a little bit of give when you test it with your finger. I recommend a meat thermometer. It's made me a much better cook. So if you don't have one, you might want to take a peek next time you go to the store. So I cooked this, and I've been letting it rest for about 15 minutes or so. It's important to let your meat rest so the juices don't all come out when you go to cut it. The next thing I do is I dice an onion, a coarse dice, and 2 apples, maybe 3 apples if they're small. I dice them and I put them in a little bit of butter, and I saute them until they get nice and brown. Come on, come see. Can you see how the apples have gotten kind of nice and brown? The onions are starting to caramelize too. When they get to this point right here, you want to drop in a brick, 8 ounces of your Philadelphia cream cheese. Regular or light, either one is absolutely fine. So add it in, and you can see it's going to turn the apples and the onions into this wonderful spread, kind of like old-time pork chops and applesauce. Did all of you grow up with pork chops and applesauce too? I did. That was kind of a weekend standard. Gray, bouncy pork chops and applesauce. You can guess what I always went for. But look how beautiful and creamy this gets. Isn't it gorgeous? The flavor is incredible. And this time of year when I can get my hands on the sweet Vidalia onions, oh my gosh, I stock up. They're so good. They will make your mouth so happy. Alright, that's it for here. I'm just going to bring this over, let it cool for just a minute, and show you another technique I do. Next thing you're going to pick is a dozen rolls of some sort. They can be individual rolls, they can be onion rolls or sandwich rolls. I like the actual Hawaiian rolls. I like that little bit of sweetness to them. And what I do, just as a little time-saving thing and a cute little trick, is I leave them together right in the tray, and I take a bread knife, just like this, and I want to cut them about halfway through. And again, I have not separated these. So take a bread knife, and anytime you're using a serrated knife, you want to use a sawing motion. Be careful with your hands, of course. And cut all the way through. Once you've cut all the way through, you're going to lift this and pull it over. And I can still see my 12 little rolls right here. Can you kind of see the line? So I can kind of see where they are. Next thing I'm going to do is put on the cream cheese, apple, and onion mixture. Still a little bit warm, but that's all right. And I'm going to spread this on. I'm not going to be able to see the lines on the bottom, but I know where they are. So this kind of gets spread around. This is going to give it that sweet and savory flavor that's so good. And some of the apples will keep a little bit of their texture, so you've got a little bit of that crunch to it. All right, I'm going to scooch this. And the next thing I'm going to do is slice my pork tenderloin. This is the tricky part. I want to make sure I get these in 12 pieces. If I get 13, that's okay, because then there's a snack for me. But you want to make sure you get at least 12. And with a 1 1/4, a 1 to 1 1/4 size pork tenderloin, that's not a problem. So about maybe not quite a 1/2 inch thick slices like this. And you can see, because I've let the meat rest, it's not too juicy. And that's good because I'm not wasting the juice. Alright, that's about right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my 12 pieces right inside here. Now, they don't have to match up or line up perfectly, because when we cut this, it'll all work out. So just kind of tuck them in about where you know the slices are. You may have to scooch a little. I'm going to cut one more piece here. Whoops, you know what? I tried to get 16 out of this. That's what you get when you get nervous and get on camera. But I can. There we go. Alright. Next thing I'm going to do is take a little bit of barbecue sauce. Just spoon it over the top. The barbecue sauce, you don't want to mask the flavor, you just want to give it that nice little hint. Whatever kind of barbecue sauce you like will work just fine. Alright, I'm going to pull this back here. Take my lid, put it right back on the same way it came off. Kind of laughing at myself because I said a dozen, but there's actually 16 here, which is what there usually is in the Hawaiian rolls. Then you want to take your knife again, kind of line it up over top, cut through this way. If you got a little scooching, just hold it. Clean your knife off, turn it the other way. Cut through here. I'm just going to use that nice sawing motion because I've got a serrated blade here. And I've got my 3 rows of 4, which is 12. Nobody said I was good at math. I'm going to have to put this on because I don't have another pork tenderloin tonight. I don't remember seeing anything in the rules that said you have to be good at math. Alright, let me put a few little sandwiches on here so you can see what I'm talking about. What do you think? Doesn't that look good? Want to see me take a bite and make a mess? Alright. This is going to make your mouth so happy. Hopefully I gave you a little laugh with my horrible math skills. And the fact that even after doing, 15 videos, I still get nervous. What are you going to do? Hey, I hope everybody has a great night. I hope I gave everybody a good laugh. It's Renee Chakowski checking out for the night.